Welcome to Cardinal Stadium for this evening's football contest between the Joseph Pace High School Cardinals and the visiting Fairhaven Blue Devils. This is Tyler Clark for Swansea Cable Access Channel 9. And alongside me doing his first ever game as color commentator is Justin LaCroix.
Thanks for having me, Tyler. This is going to be a fun game tonight.
Justin, it's a great evening for football. It's not too cold. It's just September 29th, nice end of the month kind of weather. As we see, Fairhaven coming on the field, they are in white, Case is in maroon as always. Case comes into the game with a record of 3-0. The Fairhaven Blue Devils come into the record of 1-2. It appears that Case has won the opening coin toss and deferred to the second half. Number 24, Ty Kudo, will be out to do the kicking. Back for Fairhaven to receive is number 12, Brady Bennett, and number 10, Flynn Borgalt.
Perfect chill in the air. Nice night for football. Here we go.
Here comes the Case-I marching band heading off the field, and Case will get ready to do the kicking. Coda looking to his right, now to his left, and we are underway. It's a low line drive kick. It's going to bounce once. Going to be picked up by number 33 for Fairhaven. That's Owen Kubella, and he's going to be tackled after a very short gain at about the 34-yard line. And Fairhaven will come into the field for their first possession of the game.
First down, Fairhaven.
It's important to establish strength early. We're going to see if they can do that here.
Now, the last home game Case had against Diamond, they did win 40-8, but the one touchdown they gave up was on an 85-yard kickoff, so Case will need to watch their special teams going forward. Fairhaven, as I said, out on the field for their first possession. Number 12, Brady Bennett, their quarterback, came out with the play. Fairhaven will line up with two wide receivers to the right and one to the left, and a tight end to the left too, as Bennett's going to start in the shotgun formation with no backs behind him. Here's the snap. Going to be a draw up the middle, and at the nice tackle by number 7 on the play for Case. That was Danny Silva. A short gain for Fairhaven, but not very many. A gain of about,
Pick up about 4 or 5.
I'd say about 4 yards. It'll be a 2nd and 6 for the Blue Devils coming up from their own, I would say about the 38.5-yard line, seeing where they spotted the ball. Interesting to see if Fairhaven will use the same formation as they did with the shotgun. I noticed at this level of high school football, they tend to use the same formation fairly consistently. As soon as I say that, of course, Fairhaven now is going to go under center with a back behind, one right receiver left and right, and two tight ends, one to the left and one to the right.
Single back
motioning,
formation,
one tight end. It's going to be a fake pitch. No handoff inside to number 3. That's Shane Snagala, and he's going to be wrapped up almost immediately. Fairhaven trying to get a little tricky on that.
That was a good tackle there.
Not
Stopped by number 9, Kyle Kohler.
Kyle Kohler, number 9 on the tackle there for Case. You can probably hear the PA announcer over us as we talk. Short game of the play for Fairhaven, that about 2 yards. It'll be a 3rd and 4 for the Blue Devils coming up from their own 40-yard line.
Limiting runs to that short yardage is going to be critical for Case tonight. Put himself in good positions to get that defense off the field and offense on.
So let's see what Fairhaven does here if they decide to pass it. 2 wide receivers left. 1 wide receiver to the right and 2 tight ends, not on the lawn. It's going to be a pass play. Bennett rolling through his edge, is going to throw. It's completed. That's a number 3. That's Nagala. He takes a tackle. He's still alive. That's the first down marker. Dodging a couple tackles. That could have been a very short gain by Fairhaven, but some missed tackles by Case, and Fairhaven's picking up a first down. That, I might add, is the first completed pass we have seen at Cardinal Stadium so far this year. The last home game against Diamond, there were no completed passes all game by either team, so very quickly we have changed that. A first down for the Blue Devils coming up now from the Case 49-yard line. That was Chance Nagala, a senior running back, with the reception on that. I'm not sure if he was the intended target or it was just a dump off.
Yeah, it did look like the play broke down there at the very end.
Here's Bennett out of the shotgun again. Motions a man to the left. He's going to take it up middle. Quarterback draw, and the play is blown dead. There must be a penalty on the play, maybe a false start. Usually when it's blown down right away, almost always a false start or illegal formation. And it is a false start at Fairhaven. That'll push them back 5 yards into their own territory. That'll be a 1st and 15 now coming up.
That's the second draw we've seen. That play didn't go for anything because of the penalty. They're going to have to keep their eyes open up the middle.
From the 49-yard line.
It'll be interesting to see if they keep someone on the spy for that.
Right at the middle linebacker spy. Here comes Fairhaven, their center. I didn't see who that was coming out, but that's high school football. I always usually send the center out first. Now we have Bennett under center. Motions a man to the right. And it's going to be a handoff right up the gut.
Breaks
to,
one,
I believe
breaks
that was
two.
Nagala. Who was that? I can't see who the player number. That was number 30.
Number
that was
30.
Zachary
Fairhaven
Giot.
stopped for a gain
They
of 1
fullback
yard.
on the run. A very short gain of about 1, maybe 2 yards. Call it a gain of 1, so it's going to be 2nd and 14 now for the Blue Devils coming up from their own 48.
Trying to get back some of that penalty yardage there. Not quite there yet. We've already seen a few formations here by Fairhaven, trying to keep Case on their toes defensively.
Right. Usually if you use the same formation every time, it gets a little more predictable. And here we go again with yet another different formation for the Blue Devils. We have 1 wide receiver to the right, 2 to the back, 2 to his left, and 1 back right behind the quarterback. Another play blown dead. Is this a timeout? No, a delay of game penalty, I believe, is what the call was on the Fairhaven. Yes.
Fairhaven.
They did not get that snap
5
off in
yard
time.
penalty, still 2nd down.
I can honestly say I have never seen that here, a delay of game penalty. It's the first one I ever remember seeing. Now it's going to be a 2nd and 18.
So after the big play, Fairhaven's kind of digging themselves in a little bit of a hole here.
Two penalties on 2 plays and a 1-yard run. That's not going to get very far. 2nd and 18 for Fairhaven. 2 wide receivers left, 1 to the right, and 1 back behind the quarterback, Bennett. He's going to motion a wide receiver in towards him. Bennett gets the snap. It's going to be a toss play to the left. In case it's going to be all over that one. That did not go anywhere.
No,
Tackled at the line of scrimmage.
They tried there, Tyler, with the misdirection on the left-hand side with the wide receivers, and then the handoff just didn't go anywhere. Didn't bite. Good defense by Case.
Timeout on the
And a
field.
timeout is going to be called on the field, I believe, by Fairhaven. And we're going to take a break in the action, but we'll stay on here right now. All right, Justin, what do you think so far out of this game? What do you see from Fairhaven? Looks like they were moving pretty well, and then they kind of shot themselves in the foot multiple times with the penalties, and now they face a 3rd and 19.
Yeah, 3rd and 19. That's, I'm imagining we're going to either see here a quick little screen, maybe a dump off, try to catch Case defense off guard, maybe pick up that yardage that way, or maybe even at least put it onto the other side of the field. If you're Case right here, I think you're definitely keying on the quarterback. What's number 12, Brady Bennett, looking for that draw up the middle. They've run that play a couple times now.
Seen it before. Obviously, there are not too many plays in the book for 3rd and 19, but you have to be careful because sometimes you've seen the quarterback runs a draw play in the middle. No one's expecting to get, and off he goes for a 30-yard gain. Let's see what Fairhaven does. No backs
This looks like a screen, if I ever had to say.
1 man in motion. It's going to be a fake snap. Now it's going to be a pass.
There's
There's
the
the screen play. What a
screen.
call. Number 5 is going to be tackled
And there's
very
the contain by the
quickly.
defense.
Jacob Cadu is on the reception for Fairhaven. What a great call there, Justin, protecting the screen. But unfortunately, that did not really go anywhere.
That screen took a little bit too long to develop. The key there on the screen is to get that ball out of the quarterback's hand as quickly as you can and into your screen man. Let the defense in. They tried.
That was a gain of, I don't think any gain, I thought it was a gain of 2, but they don't have any change in. 4th and 19 for Fairhaven. Surely a punt coming up. Number 2, that's Chris Costa going to be back to do the receiving for Case, and here we go. Number 5 for the Blue Devils. I believe that's Cadu is going to be the one doing the punting. It's going to be a good snap. Cadu gets it. Watch on the bottom.
And
There's
he
going to be
keeps
a
the
botched
ball.
punt. I don't know if that was an intentional fake or not, but Case is going to wrap that up. I don't think that was supposed to be a fake punt. I think that snapped a little too much hang time when it went up, and by the time Cadu got it, the Case defender, I did not see who that was. Kyle Kohler, I think, was the one who got close to him. And he did not get the snap off. He got more yardage on that run than I thought he was going to get. But eventually it was wrapped up. Anyway, Case will now take over with very good field position. Again, I don't think that was a designed fake punt. Usually those are a lot faster to develop, but it was a smart move there by Cadu to just take off and run with it instead of just standing back there and getting crushed by the defender coming.
Definitely good awareness, at least to almost get it back to midfield. So we'll see what Case can do here.
He did actually get some
On their
yardage. So
first
here
series.
comes Case, who's going to be under center. He has 2 wide receivers to his left. Now he has all sorts of motion going on here. Core now up on the line. Who's going to get the snap? He's going to hand it off to Costa. Costa's going to bounce to the outside. Oh, we're going to be wrapped up. Good tackle there by number 12 for Fairhaven. That's Brady Bennett, the quarterback.
Shifty move to pick up one, maybe 2, when there wasn't much there. Looks like 1.
Looks like a gain of 1. I did not think that play was going to go anywhere. Costa I was talking to Justin pregame, is very, very fast. Like if he gets to the outside, he had about a 65-yard run or so, something around that last game where he just right up the middle.
And a play like that where it starts to form slowly on the outside, you got to turn those shoulders and go straight upfield.
2nd and 9 now for Case. Cruz and have one wide receiver to his right. Motioning Kudo out to the right, number 45.
Single back formation.
Single back now. Cruz going to hand it off up the middle. That's going to be number 24. That's Jeremy Thibodeau. He's going to get a pretty good gain on the play.
And that's going to move the chains there, Tyler. That was a nice run.
Good run there by Jeremy Thibodeau, or Thibodeau, I forget how you say his name. And it'll be a first down for Case coming up from the Fairhaven 35. So good run there by Thibodeau.
First down game by Jeremy Thibodeau.
Thibodeau, there we go. The PA announcer corrected me. Jeremy Thibodeau. Here comes Prue again. One wide receiver to his right. Again, all sorts of crazy motion. 4 men in motion, all in one.
Giving the referees all they can handle today watching these formations.
Prue is going to snap. He's going to fake it. Rolling to the left, looking to pass. Prue, nothing there. He's going to take off with it. He's going to be sacked behind the line of scrimmage. Good play by Fairhaven. That was, I believe, number 5, Jacob Cadu.
Was tackled for a 2-yard loss
that was a design. Yeah, that was a designed run by Prue there. Decided to keep it and roll it to the left. Couldn't quite get out there.
Tackled by Jacob Cadu, the running back, inside linebacker, punter extraordinaire for Fairhaven. I was told that it's Jacob Cadu is how you pronounce the last name of Jacob there. So it's 2nd and 11 now for Case. All sorts of motion once again coming on. Kohler, the tight end, switches from the left side to the right side pretty consistently. Prue is going to be a misdirection handoff up the middle. There goes Kudo, tackled after a decent gain. I don't know if he got quite enough of the first down. We'll have to see where they mark it. But another very good run there for Case on the misdirection handoff to Kudo.
Good gain by Kudo. Breaking down a little bit on the defensive line there on Fairhaven's part.
And it does appear that Case did pick up enough of the first down, so they will move the sticks.
Kind of got them on their heels right now, Tyler. You see that defense, when they start lifting up, expecting to run up the middle instead of driving forward, you're going to end up with gains like that all game long.
Let's see what Case can do now. This is obviously the best field position either team has had. 25 of Fairhaven is where Case will snap it. 1st and 10.
Just under 4 minutes in the first. Here we go.
Prue. One wide receiver to his left. He's going to misdirection, handoff to Costa. Costa is going to be wrapped up by pretty much half the Fairhaven defense there on that, and finally brought down. Tried to get a little misdirection there. That did not go anywhere.
Costa was trying to channel his inner Larry Zonka there, moving the pile, but wasn't quite successful.
Gained about 1 yard on that play, about a 1-yard gain.
Good job of the Fairhaven defense to contain on the right side of the line there.
2nd and 9 coming up. We can see a couple of smattering of Fairhaven fans over there in the stands right now. Not a very big turnout. The last home game was against Diamond, which has a very high Swansea representation, so that's why the stands on both sides are pretty much full. 2nd and 9 coming up for now for Case. Prue's going to hand it off the middle to Kudo, and he's going to be tackled almost immediately, gained a couple of yards again. Not getting much running up the middle so far this game.
Little halfback dive there. Just trying to keep moving that ball, trying to keep getting positive yardage here. We'll see what happens here on 3rd and 9.
3rd and 7 coming up. They got a gain of 2 yards. So let's see what Case does with a 3rd and 7. Now, as I said, they have not really gained much yardage running the ball up the middle. Most of their big gains have been on the outside running. So let's see what happens here.
Most likely a toss.
Let's see.
With the lead back.
No motion this time. Fake. He's going to roll to his right. Let me look at the pass. Prue's going to take off and run with it now. Prue is going to be dodge one man. Finally be wrapped up. He's going to be very, very close to the first down marker. I think he got it.
He might have gotten it with that last effort with the extension.
That last effort to kind of lurch forward. I don't know if that was a designed run or if that was a pass play.
That was a play action rollout there. He decided to keep the ball on that play. Didn't have anything open downfield. Not sure if he actually was going to throw it.
And he is short. It's 4th and 1 for Case coming up from the 16-yard line. I thought that last effort did it for him there. Case is actually going to call a timeout on this play.
Got to be careful there stretching out. Got to be careful there stretching for that first down. You got to protect that ball, especially when you're threatening inside the Fairhaven red zone right now.
Right, you can stretch with the ball, and you can have it knocked away or something like that. Obviously, that stretch of the first down was not as memorable as a certain Tennessee Titans and St. Louis Rams game I remember, where
I remember watching that
Kevin
game.
Dyson was stopped at the 1 yard line, I believe,
close.
as time expired in the Super Bowl, and the Rams won. I believe it was Super Bowl 34 over the Tennessee Titans, 23-16. It was not quite as memorable as that, but Purdue did give it his best effort, and he was just short.
So teams are coming back out onto the field. This is going to be a 4th and 1 attempt by Case.
4th and 1 now for Case. The crowd is starting to get into it. Let's see.
Yeah, we might be seeing a little push here up the middle by Ty Kudo. It would be my guess if 45 lines up back there.
And Kudo is gonna line up right behind Prue. Let's see if you're right on that prediction. It's a bunch formation and then one wide receiver all the way to the right. And there's some motion there. Looks like there's some motion. I'm not sure if that was Case jumping or if Fairhaven encroached. Every side is pointing their fingers either way.
This could be a killer for Case.
This could be an absolute killer. 4th and 1's a lot different than 4th and 6. And let's see what it's on. And it's going to be an encroachment penalty on Fairhaven. That will automatically give Case a first down.
That's a tough break for that Fairhaven defense. Those mistakes will kill you.
4th and 1. Obviously, when it's 4th and 1, you take the first down however you can get it. I mean, sometimes if you get the defense to jump like that, you do it. I don't think there was a hard count going there. I think the Fairhaven player just happened to jump. I do not see who it was. I think it was number 77, who was Jared Diggins, but I'm not.
So here we are, set up on the 11.
1st and 10 for Case from the 11. They do not need to score to get a first down. They can't get it to the 1. Purdue's going to motion Kudo up near the line. And the more motion, more jumping going on here. Let's see what this is on.
Everybody's getting a little antsy.
That looked like a false start penalty, and it was on Case. That'll back him up 5 yards.
False start against Case. First down, 15 yards to go.
Take a positive out of that. They still have the first down.
It's still first and, it is first down. It's 1st and 15 now. Let's see what they do here. 1st and 15 from the 16-yard line. So as I said, they do not need to score a touchdown to get the first down. That is very rare when that happens, but this is an example of it right here for Case. 1st and 15, 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining in the first quarter. It is still scoreless. Kudo motioning to the left. It's going to be a toss play out to Kudo. Good toss. Kudo's going to be looking for the outside corner. Misses one tackle, running to the corner of the end zone. He's in! Touchdown, Case!
Touchdown, Case Cardinals.
What a run by Ty Kudo. He takes the pitch play to the left, dodges one tackle, and skirts his way near the pylon.
You could see the outside linebacker lose contain on that play. And Kudo took advantage of that, turned his shoulders upfield, and scored the touchdown.
Excuse me, I stand corrected. It's not Kudo. That was Jeremy Thibotot, number 24. Kudo's number 45. So that was Jeremy Thibotot, number 24, was the one who ended up getting that snap and going to the left and score. And that make it 6-0 Case, 1 minute 32 seconds remaining in the first quarter as they light up to go for 2, as is customary in this level of high school football. Bunch formation, looks like a goal line formation. Toss play out to Costa. Costa's going to plow ahead, and I think he got in. And he did get in. He's good, and it's going to be an 8-0 lead for Case. 1 minute and 32 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Cardinals 8, Fairhaven 0.
Boy, Fairhaven wishes they could have that penalty back. Instead of a 4th and 1, now they're looking at a
8-0 deficit.
8-0 deficit.
Scoreboard changes, yes.
That was a good run by the number 24 Jeremy Thibotot, the senior, 5'11", 180. He used all 180. Broke a few tackles on the left-hand side there. That was a great pitch left.
Very fast. I don't remember him playing in the game against Diamond. I don't remember that name, so I don't think he played against Diamond, but as you can see, his quickness was definitely on display there as he took that pitch
Fairhaven's
play.
probably going to remember him. So we have the teams coming back out onto the field after the Case 2-point conversion.
1 minute and 32 seconds remaining in the first quarter. As I said, 8-0 Case. Jeremy Thibotot, number 24, will be doing the kicking. He did not play in the last game because I remember it's Kudo doing the kicking for Case.
It's really important here that Case comes out onto this field and really puts their foot down and stops this Fairhaven offense to come out and give their offense a chance to go up by a couple scores here. This is where momentum plays key.
Let's see what kind of kick we do here. Diamond last game tried a couple of onside kicks. That's a decent kick by Tivitot. That's going to be picked up by number 33 for Fairhaven. He's going to be tackled immediately. What a great tackle by number 9, Kyle Kohler. That was number 33, Owen Kubella. I believe he cut the kickoff last time for Fairhaven as well.
That was a textbook tackle.
Great form by Kohler.
Wrapped up his legs, didn't let go.
About the 25. Make that the 26 is where Case's defense will take over for Fairhaven's second possession of the game.
So easy to fly by those guys on special teams when you're running down the field so fast. Great tackle.
Minute 27 seconds remaining. Here comes Fairhaven.
Shotgun formation.
Banded out of a shotgun formation. Takes the step. Quarterback draw right up the middle. He could have tackled immediately by Case. He may have gained a yard if he was lucky in that. Case was right on that. Number 77 for Case. Riley Dos Anjos in on that tackle.
That whole close up quickly.
Brady Bennett with the carry. Stopped by Riley Dos Anjos. 1 yard gain.
Gain of 1 on the play. 2nd and 9 for Fairhaven as we tick ever closer to a minute remaining here in the first quarter.
That hole closed up faster than a bank on Friday, Tyler.
That's a good analogy to use. Blue Devils have time for maybe 2 plays here. Another shotgun formation. Two wide receivers right, 1 to the left, and he has 2 tight ends. No backs. And Fairhaven is yelling for a timeout here. They will get it. Fairhaven coach was yelling on the other side of the officials for a timeout, and they are granted. So that leaves us with 37 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. So barring an incomplete pass or a run out of bounds, this will probably be the last play of the first quarter. Once this resumes, it's only a 30-second timeout. It looks like the timeout is actually already over. So that was fast.
Case looks like they're lined up in a.
Case looks like they did not change their formation at all here.
Well, they went from a man zone or a bump man formation. Now it looks like they're going back into a zone formation on 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9, 37 seconds remaining from 27. Bennett out of a shotgun again. Same formation as last time. He takes his step, looking to pass it, rolling right. Now he's going to go up the middle with it. Now he's going to run, and he's going to be tackled by a couple of Case players on the play. Number 50, Noah Casado. Number 57, John Garrell wrapped him up on the play. That, I believe, was a designed pass, but there was nothing there. He took off with it. I believe he got back to the line of scrimmage and did not gain any yardage. That's going to do it. I think the clock's going to tick off the end of the first quarter here. As time winds down, I see 8 seconds. The Fairhaven quarterback is not running onto the field. Just wait for the officials to make the official whistle here. 1, and that'll do it for the first quarter here from Cardinal Stadium. The score is Case 8, Fairhaven 0. We are going to take a break and be back after to bring you the start of the second quarter. Welcome back to the start of the second quarter here from Cardinal Stadium. 3rd and 9 coming up for Fairhaven. Bennett's going to take the handoff. It's going to be looked like a trick play. They didn't go anywhere. They tried to hand it off to the wide receiver, which was number 10, Flynn Borgalt, and he was going to try to pass it, and he was wrapped up well behind the line of scrimmage.
Ty Kudo with a little assistance from Noah Casado there on the sack.
I believe that was 3rd. That'll be a long 4th down, about 4th and 20. So not a whole lot in the book designed for that other than a punt.
Down, 20 yards to go.
That was instant pressure there. That was a play action pass there.
It was, they tried to give it to the wide receiver to throw, and trick plays are fun when they walk. Another lofty punt, it's dropped, and they're going to take off and run with it again. He's going to wrap up immediately. Could do another botched Fairhaven punt.
Noah Casado.
The long snapper has to get a little more zip on that. Once again, Purdue had trouble getting that punt off, and he actually dropped it this time. And last time he managed to scramble, get a pretty decent gain on the play. This time, not as much. It looks like Fairhaven's going to take a timeout here. Try to kind of just.
So, Tyler, this is this thing I was talking about, momentum, and Case has got a lot of it right now. It was important for them to get that offense off the field quickly. They did just that.
So far this game from what we saw in the first quarter, it's been all Case. Fairhaven has had 2 possessions, and they didn't even get a punt off either time. They ended up technically with 2
mishandled snaps there.
Mishandled snaps, and they went. Technically, if you look in the books, they went for it twice on 4th down with runs, and they didn't get it. Usually, fourth down run by the punter doesn't, which is what will go in the book, doesn't usually get you too many conversions, but Fairhaven,
they're set up with great field position here.
Great field position. I believe at the 10-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal from the 10. Here comes Prue. A lot of more crazy motion going on. They've been using that all game long so far to confuse Fairhaven. Handoff to Tibitot. He's going to go up the middle with it, tackled, and now he's actually in.
He's in the end zone.
He's in. I thought he was going to be wrapped up, but he's in. Wow. Touchdown. Wow, what a run by Jeremy Tibitot on the very next play. That makes the game 14-0 Case.
That's his 2nd touchdown of the game. I told you Fairhaven was going to remember this guy.
Tibitot, 2 touchdowns. I correctly said his name this time. I gave it to Ty Kudo last time. It was Tibitot, both number 24. I was fooled. He looked like he was going to be wrapped up right past the 1st down, past the line of scrimmage, and he kept his feet
shoulder
going.
pads down and those feet going.
And he ended up getting in. 10:06 to go, 14-0 Case as they line up another goal line formation. Motion. Prue's going to hand it off. A little misdirection, and that's going to be Tibitot, but he's going to be stopped short this time. The 2-point conversion fails. Fairhaven sniffed that one up pretty quickly. 10:06 remaining in the 2nd quarter. The score is going to be 14-0.
Conversion is no good.
Case over Fairhaven.
That was a good job by the Case offense there. Instead of pitching that ball to the outside on their first scoring drive, they decided to go right up the middle, spread that defense out, and they end up with a 14-0 lead here in the second quarter, not inning.
As I said before, Case comes into this game with a record of 3-0. Fairhaven is 1-2. If Case keeps this up, I see no reason why they cannot advance their record to 4-0 so far this year, which is an impressive start.
Now this is important for Case, correct, Tyler? Because this is their first conference.
I believe this is. I don't remember
game?
who they faced. This might be their second conference game. They faced Bourne last week, easily won. So this is their 2nd conference game. Their first 2 games of the year were against Bristol, Plymouth, and Diamond, who are not conference games.
This is going to help set them up nicely in the conference early in the year.
They'd be 2-0 in the conference with a couple of daunting games coming up. Wareham's always a tough opponent. Seekonk's always a tough opponent, which will be coming up in coming weeks for Case.
So Tibitot scoring touchdowns, and he's kicking off as well here.
Tibitot, the kicker and running back extraordinaire so far for Case. 10:06 remaining, like I said, it is 14-0 Case over the Blue Devils. Now both times Case has kicked it. The same player for Case, which is Owen Kubella, ended up receiving. That's going to be a squib kick. Number 12 for the Blue Devils picks it up. That's Bennett, the quarterback. He's got a pretty good return coming. He's going to dodge a couple men, be tackled up near the 35-yard line.
Now, if you're Case right here on defense, you're definitely going to keep that foot pushed down, pedal to the metal here on defense. You can't let up with that 14-0. You might feel comfortable here, but this isn't any time to get comfortable.
Like I said, the Case defense so far has done an excellent job. Fairhaven's picked up, I think, I don't remember how many first downs, either 1 or 2. They have at least 1. They had a decent run going, and then both times they went to punt and botched it, so Case ended up with excellent field position both times. Fairhaven again with a different formation, 3 backs behind, and a handoff up the middle to the fullback.
That was a good run.
A good run up the middle of about 5, maybe 6 yards. I'm not sure who was the runner on that play. I did not see who it was.
It's important for Fairhaven to establish some semblance of a drive here. They were close. They were very close,
right. That was like Zachary Guillard, gain of 6. So 2nd and 4 for the Blue Devils. 9 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here in the first half. Same formation again for the Blue Devils.
I feel a blitz.
Another handoff up the middle, and that's going to yield another good game there for the Blue Devils. Now they're pounding the ball up the middle and running it very well. That was number 3, Chance Nagala, the halfback. And the Blue Devils will move the chains after only 2 runs right up the middle. That's smash mouth football right there as they move the sticks. First down for Fairhaven. Now coming close to Case territory at the 46-yard line. Hey, if it worked once, now we have another 3 back formation, no wide receivers. Another handoff up the middle for Fairhaven. There he goes. That's number 30.
That was a misdirection. They're not
And
wrapped.
he's
He's not wrapped
still
up yet.
getting
There he
wrapped
is.
up. Finally brought down. That's Giat, the fullback. He's just pounding ahead so far this
You
game.
could see the over-exaggeration there by the back splitting out to the left, had his hands up in the air, trying to take the attention of Case defense away from the ball running right up the middle, and they sure did that time.
That was an excellent run by Zachary Giat. Pounded it right up the middle. Very good gain. Well into Case territory. Fairhaven will take over from about the 31-yard line. Same formation again. If it worked good the first 3 times, keep going again. Another great run by the Blue Devils. That's number 5 this time. Cadu. Another first down for Fairhaven. They have run 4 plays on this drive, and they have picked up 3 first downs, and it's all running the ball right up the middle.
Now they're in that quick
Now,
offense.
no huddle offense. Quick offense. If it keeps working, just keep pounding. And they're going to give it again to Cadu. He's going to cut
Bounces it
inside.
outside.
Another great run for Fairhaven. Let's see if they're going to keep it up. And Case is going to call a timeout there.
That
Defense is a
timeout
little gassed.
was badly needed.
Needed timeout for Case after another 8-yard run. Fairhaven, my goodness, what happened the first 2 drives compared to this one? Now they're running a walk down the field.
Yeah, you see it happen time and time again, Tyler. You know, you get out to that early lead. You know, defense gets a little comfortable, and the other team, they're not quite as comfortable as you, so they're going to come out, and they're coming out charging hard right now.
Case's defense looked fairly unstoppable the first couple drives, and all of a sudden Fairhaven's racked off a couple of solid runs, and they're not doing anything fancy. They're just running the ball right up the middle.
Yeah, they are. I think it's really important to note that they really set that drive up well with that first play with the running back, with the little bit of a trick play there with his hands up in the air. So I'm thinking Case is thinking they're going to pitch it outside, but they just keep running it up the gut.
See the Swansea, I think it's still the Swansea Warriors. The youth cheerleading squad is out doing a routine out on the track right now next to the Case High cheerleaders. Anyway, back to the game. Fairhaven again with the same formation. Let's see if Case can stop them here. It's going to be a toss play over to the left, and that did not go anywhere. That was number 33, Owen Kubela. That was snapped, a very short gain on that play. He may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, and he actually did gain a yard on the play. Maybe 2, I think probably about a 2-yard gain. 3rd and 1 for Fairhaven.
Almost looked like he lost control of the ball.
Coming up from the 9.
They're fooling me too, I think.
Fairhaven tried something different there. They did not do a direct handoff of the middle. This was a toss play. And he was wrapped up after a short gain. 3rd and 1 is going to be a keeper right up the middle for Fairhaven. That was, I think, quarterback sneak. And there's a penalty flag. Official gets knocked over on the play. I'm not sure if that, I'm sure that was accidental. Official went flying over. Here comes a penalty flag.
3-yard gain. There is a penalty on the field.
See, if you hit the official accidentally, obviously it's not a penalty because the official is in the field of play. Let's see what this penalty is on.
Boy, this could be big again for Case here. I mean, if this goes against Fairhaven was driving earlier. And
Let's
they
see
had
what
that
this is
penalty.
on. And it's going to be a personal foul on Fairhaven. That's a 15-yard penalty.
That's big.
That's going to set them back. It looked like usually a personal foul is for a late hit.
15-yard penalty.
So that was a first down run that is immediately taken off the board. So they're going to bump him back. I don't think they're going to give him the full 15. So that went from converting a 3rd and 1 to it now being first. No,
It's going to be 3rd and a long.
nope. They're actually going to give them the first down because the penalty happened after the play was
I
over.
see.
So Fairhaven did pick up the first down, but did go in reverse. So 1st and 10 now for Fairhaven, but they're going to be backed up to the 20-yard line. Another handoff to the left to Cadu, and he's going to be tackled fairly quickly by Case.
Wrapped up on the far side of the field that time.
That penalty, just to be clear, if you're confused, that took place after the first down was reached. So as a result, the first down counts and the penalty is enforced afterward. So usually that means it was a late hit by one of the Fairhaven players onto Case. That may have explained why the referee fell, because the Case player may have been shoved into him after the whistle was blown. As soon as the whistle blows, all momentum must stop. And if you keep going, then you can be flagged for a penalty, which is what happened to Fairhaven. 2nd and 6 for Fairhaven, under 7 minutes remaining. Bennett rolling to the right, looking to pass. Bennett's going to dump it off. It's going to be incomplete. Off the hands of number 5. That was Cadu.
That was great defensive awareness, too, to run through the play just in case there.
So that was incomplete. So the clock stopped. 6 minutes and 48 seconds. 3rd and 6 now for Fairhaven. They've been aggressive. They've thrown a couple passes so far this game.
Throwing side to side. They're not necessarily, pushing it downfield quite yet. It'll be interesting to see if they decide to try that.
Same formation again for Fairhaven. 3 backs behind.
And a split back
and it's going to be a handoff up the middle, and I don't think he got that. I think he's going to be stopped short. Fairhaven tried to fool Case by running
I think you're right, Tyler. I think they are stopped short right there.
Handoff. That was, I believe, Zachary Guillat, number 30. And let's see where they mark it, but from my vantage point here, I don't think it's there. And he's well short. It's going to be that was a gain of about 2 yards, so it's going to be 4th and 4 for Fairhaven. Let's see what they do here. Interesting decision.
They're certainly going to go for it here. They need to convert here on this 4th down if they have any shot of getting back into this before halftime.
No doubt in my mind they were going to go for it, but interested to see if they choose to run it up the middle, toss the play, or go for a pass.
Same formation here again.
Once again, let's see what Fairhaven does. 4th and 4.
Got to watch this bump.
It's going to be a toss play to the left, cutting back inside. They have the first down.
And more.
And he's going to be stopped short of the goal line, at least. That was Canoe, number 5. He did pick up the first down in the quick little pitch play. So excellent job for Fairhaven of always being in motion, picking up the first down. This is an excellent drive for Fairhaven. They did shoot themselves on that 15-yard penalty. They had to go in reverse, but they're gaining all that yardage back, taking some time off the clock. It's going to be 1st and goal for Case from about for Fairhaven from about the Case 8-yard line. Again with the same formation for Fairhaven, not changing much with that. And it's going to be a misdirection. I'm not sure what happened, but he's up the middle and he's in. That's a touchdown for Fairhaven. That's Guillat, number 30. One of their players fell down. That may have been by design.
That was either, it was hard to see, it was either a quick snap or a handoff. It might have been a quick direct snap to Guillat.
I believe it was a handoff, and they faked it to one player, and they ended up giving it to Guillat. Regardless, the lack of emotion from the crowd obviously signals it was a Fairhaven touchdown. With 5 minutes and 48 seconds remaining in the first half, that'll make the score 14-6 currently, as Fairhaven will now line up to go for 2. Now they do a spread formation. They're not all bunched up like they were the last couple times. It's going to be a pass play. Bennett rolling right. He's going to throw, and it's going to be completed, but he's going to be stopped short. That was Canoe, number 5, wrapped up by Kohler, number 9. So the 2-point conversion fails, and as a result, the score is 14-6. Fairhaven, 5 minutes and 48 seconds remaining in the first half. Justin, that was a good drive by the Blue Devils.
Certainly was. We talked about momentum earlier. They got a little of that momentum back. I mean, they didn't convert there on the 2-point conversion, but they certainly can walk away from that drive very confident about coming onto the field again, especially pushing the ball up the middle. Case is going to have to react accordingly, and they're going to really have to focus on the middle of the field. But again, you got to be careful for those shifty running backs on the outside. They could do a couple quick pitches. They could start resorting to screen play. It's going to be interesting to see how Fairhaven decides to come out and run their offense again.
Right.
That was a good adjustment on their part.
That was very good adjustment for Fairhaven. Their first 2 drives, they got a couple first downs on the first one. Their second drive, I believe it was a 3-and-out, or excuse me, a 3-and-out with a botched punt afterwards.
They say it's a game of adjustments, Tyler. You're going to have to adjust constantly. You got to keep each other on each other's toes.
So the Blue Devils will get ready to kick from the 40-yard line. Case will come back for their first kickoff return of the game. Remember, they did elect to kick off to start the game, and Fairhaven has not scored until now. Number 72 for Fairhaven, who is not on the roster. That's interesting. So I don't know who this mystery man is, but he'll be doing the kicking for Fairhaven. Discussion with the officials. Fairhaven, I'm not sure if they're looking for an onside kick here. What they're going to do is going to be a quick onside kick. They're going to go for it. And the ball's bouncing around. Case is hardly going to jump on it. Looks like going on out here on the field. A couple players, one from Case, one from Fairhaven. Fairhaven trying to get a little tricky on that play. They went for an onside kick. They very nearly got it. They almost could have favorable bounce. Trying to get Case off guard. I could hear it yelling above me in the press box as Case did move all their players up a lot closer to that. I believe that's going to be another personal foul penalty on Case. Unsportsmanlike conduct
Against Fairhaven.
on Fairhaven. So Case will once again take advantage of a penalty by Fairhaven. We could see at the end of the play there was a scrum going on there out in the field between Fairhaven and the Case player. I believe it was number 68, Steve Senecal, who was out there. After it was over, Senecal came up and was like, I had nothing to do with that. And the officials seem to agree, as this will now give Case more than excellent field position. They already benefited from recovering the onside kick.
A little bit of frustration building up on that Fairhaven side there. Case doing a good job to keep their heads and not retaliate.
Right. Case has 2 possessions. They've scored 2 touchdowns so far. They currently lead 14-6. More crazy motion going on from the Case offense here. As Peru gets ready to take the snap, it's going to be a handoff to the right to Timitot. Bouncing outside now. Cutting back, cut back inside, and cut back outside. Great gain there for Timitot on first down. A gain of about 6 yards on the run. He's very fast.
He is. He was moving out to the side, but again, keeping those shoulders square, driving upfield. You're going to gain positive yards every time when you run like that.
Case, a similar situation in the last game, have not attempted a pass yet. Peru has 2 carries. Neither one of them went very far. I'm not sure if they were designed runs or a pass and there was
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right, Tyler?
That's exactly right. 2nd and 5, make that a gain of about 5. Here comes Case. Peru's going to toss it out to Costa. Costa's going to break outside. He's going to let open space around. Costa's finally going to be tripped up by number 15 for Fairhaven. That's Cody Pitsley.
Diving to about the 21 or 22
Great
there.
gain by Chris Costa on that play. Last game against Diamond, he broke a couple open. He's been held in check this game. I see blowing of whistles, another timeout called by Fairhaven. We're going to stick here. It is 14-6, 4 minutes and 53 seconds. Impressive drive so far for the Cardinals.
Helped out a little bit by that penalty there, as penalties typically will, especially big ones like, personal fouls. And
That's 2 huge penalties on Fairhaven. One of them didn't end up costing them because they scored a touchdown anyway on their last drive. But it was an unsportsmanlike conduct, obviously, which is a 15-yard penalty, which is a killer. NFL coaches will tell you how much it drives them crazy, too. Really, any level, high school, college, because those penalties are just so unnecessary. Sometimes, like holding penalties, hands to the face, calls like that, they tend to just happen. Accidental. But
these kids practice hard too, and it's hard enough to move the ball against well-coached, kids. And if you're going to commit those types of penalties, you're only going to ultimately hurt yourself in the end.
Fairhaven still in discussion with his coach. Finally coming off, they have a barrel on a dolly over there, maybe filled with water, I'm not sure. But that goes off the field as well. 1st and 10 for Case in the 22 after an excellent run by Chris Costa. Let's see what Case does. Under 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter, 4 minutes and 53 seconds. Peru's going to hand it to Costa again. Costa's going to bounce it out to the right. Now back inside. Costa's hitting for the corner of the end zone. Let's see if he can get in. And he is in. Touchdown, Case.
Touchdown, Cardinals.
A 22-yard run by Chris Costa. He is very fast. When he gets the ball, he is tall and he is fast. He dodged a couple tackles and headed for the corner of the end zone, and he got in. That makes the score 20-6 Case.
That was a great job by the Case offensive line there. The right tackle forcing the defensive end, the left end there, into the line of scrimmage, and that allowed Costa to bounce out to the right there and take it right upfield for the score. Excellent.
4 minutes and 44 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Case will go for two in a goal line formation. Going to be a toss play to Costa. Costa's going to head inside, and he is, let's see what the signal is, and he is not in. He is short.
Had a couple Case
Fairhaven
players
tackled him
signaling.
Just short of the line of scrimmage. Case was signaling to get in, but the official was right there.
Just short.
Not so fast. So the two-point conversion fails. 20-6 is what the score remains. 4 minutes and 44 seconds remaining here in the first half. Another excellent drive there from Case. They've got the ball. They've had the ball 3 times and they've scored 3 touchdowns without actually throwing a pass. So when you can move the ball well on the ground, you may as well keep doing it.
Case Cardinals getting set to kick the ball off.
Reminds me of a few collegiate teams, most notably Navy. Navy is one of those teams that's known for running the wishbone eye and typically lead the league every year in rushing overall NCAA because that's all they do is run the ball.
Run the ball, exactly.
Had a couple successful seasons.
And you have other teams that come to mind, like Hawaii, that pretty much passes exclusively. So as you see in this level of high school football, there isn't a whole lot of passing. We're not out in the western Texas here where we have humongous schools that are being scouted by Texas A&M and University of Texas, places like this. It's mostly running. You do see an occasional pass. I will say, though, that Case's previous quarterback, Brendan Costa, which is the older brother of Chris Costa, was an excellent passer. They did run several passes then. But so far this year, a lot of running. Good kickoff from Case. Fairhaven's going to take it at about the 20-yard line. That's going to be Bennett, the quarterback. And a decent gain of about 10 yards on that return before he's tackled by Case defenders. The ball is out. Kyle Kohler ended up with it, but I believe they blew it dead. So he lost the ball after the whistle blew, so it was not a fumble. And Fairhaven will take over for their fourth possession, of the game. The last time they had the ball, it did create 6 points. So a good drive for the Blue Devils, and a timeout called? Yes, another timeout called by Case. The clock will remain stopped. 4 minutes and 37 seconds to go. Definitely feel a bit of a chill in the air as the game goes on and we near halftime.
Yeah, chill in the air, hot dog smell too. I like that.
There's I believe it's I'm not sure what group is organizing it, but they do have an outdoor grill going here at the game. Hot dogs, hamburgers, and other sort of refreshments, and the smell is sort of drifting up here. You may have noticed, but this is the first time, I believe, in the history of Case High School football and broadcasting that we're using a 2-camera approach. For the longest time, we only had one camera set up. And cable access coordinator Adam Kitchen has done a fantastic job. Now we have 2 cameras, one out near the end zone, you can't really see it, and the other one is obviously at the top of the press box, which gives you a full shot of the field. So great job changing it up for this game in terms of the broadcasting. Fairhaven's going to have the first down handoff. That did not really go anywhere. A very short gain on the run by Flynn Borgalt, I believe, was the one on the carry for that. And he have not said his name much this game for Fairhaven. A gain of 1.
A gain of 2 yards. Second down.
Make that a gain of 2. It's just 2nd and 9 the scoreboard. More like a gain of 3. About 2nd and 7 now for Fairhaven.
Ball on the Fairhaven
Just
34.
over 4 minutes to go. 1 wide receiver to the right and 3 backs behind. It's going to be a toss play to Borgalt. He's going to shakes a couple tackles before being wrapped up. Borgalt's not very tall, short and quick out there for what I have seen. Flynn Borgalt.
Flynn Borgalt.
3rd and 7, no gain on the play. They may have moved it. The officials have maybe spotted that about a yard. I would say 3rd and 6 coming up for Fairhaven from the 35-yard line. Let's see what they do here. About 3.5 minutes remaining here in the first half.
Same formation, Tyler.
Let's see what they do. It's going to be a fake. No, it is going to be a handoff. I thought it was going to be a nice play action fake there for
Looks
Fairhaven.
like
It fooled me.
down.
And I think he did get the first down.
He sure did.
They gave the handoff up the middle to number 5, that was Cadu. He got the first down and they faked the pass. It fooled me. It must have fooled Case enough too, because Fairhaven did pick up the first down. However, time is starting to become precious as they milk away at not another minute off the clock. We're under about 3 minutes to go. Fairhaven has to start getting a move on here. No wide receivers. There's a tight end left and right and 3 backs behind. And another handoff to Borgalt, and he's going to be tackled right past the line of scrimmage again. Another very short gain. Case did give up a 3rd down run on that last one. Overall, they have stopped Fairhaven fairly well on this drive as more time ticks off the clock. About a gain of 2 on the play.
2 yards by number 45, Ty Kudo.
Ty Kudo went on that tackle for Case. 2nd and 8, or I say 2nd and 8 for Fairhaven coming up from the 45-yard line.
2 running backs, 1 fullback in the middle.
And it's going to be a handoff to Cadu, and he looks like he lost his balance there. He ended up lurching forward to get a couple yards. I don't know if he was tripped or he just slipped. Regardless, it'll be a 3rd and 5 for Fairhaven, about a gain of 3 on the play.
Fairhaven's doing a great job on the misdirection.
Gained a couple more yards on that misdirection here. Now it's going to be 3rd and I would say 4. They gave him another yard. 3rd and 4 for Fairhaven. We have under 2 minutes to go, as I said. Fairhaven kind of has to start moving here because we're running out of time in the first half. Same formation once again for the Blue Devils, and it's going to be a toss play this time to Cadu. He's going to run it inside. He's very close to the first down marker. I think he may have gotten that.
I think he did get that. It's going to be close. They may measure. We'll see.
Let's see what they do. And it is a first down for Fairhaven. He did get barely enough. And I mean, it's great that Fairhaven's moving the ball here, but they're running out of time. There's a minute and 40 seconds remaining. They're still huddling. We have a minute and a half to go. Fairhaven's still got 48 yards before they can sniff the end zone.
Letting that time click off. I don't know if do they have any timeouts left.
I'm not sure. They may have one. Another handoff to Cadu. Cadu's going to get a good run out of this one. He's going to get well past the first down marker before being tackled by a couple of Case players. Chris Costa was spearheading that one. So another good run by Cadu. Fairhaven, they're taking a lot of time, but they are moving the ball very well on this drive. The minute and 18 seconds as the official waves his hand. The clock is moving. About a minute and 10 seconds to go.
Seems like Case is in a little bit of a bend don't break situation here, I think.
Case is letting Fairhaven gain the yardage as long as they don't give up a score, but Fairhaven is taking a while. Now they call a timeout. Interesting strategy for Fairhaven. They waste more time. I think they're out of timeouts. I believe that was their 3rd one. There's a minute and 3 seconds remaining in the first half. The score is 20-6 Case. Justin, as I said, Fairhaven's moved the ball well this drive, but they're shooting themselves. They're running out of time.
Yes, time. Tick, tick, tick. It's gonna keep on ticking away.
For those of you who are not familiar, at the end of the first and third quarters, wherever you are in the field, they just switch your position to the other side of the field, so you end up keeping it. At the end of the second quarter, though, that's halftime, and however far you are is negated, so Fairhaven needs to hurry. 1st and 10 here. Shotgun pass. Bennett's going to go back and throw it. There's a man in the seam, and it's over. It's incomplete.
Just a little long.
Bennett had a man down the field. I believe that was number 10, Borgat.
That's what happens.
He had him in the middle.
When you're not throwing the ball every down, you get that opportunity, you get that chance, and get a little trigger happy.
And hold on a second. Now we have a personal foul penalty against Case. That's going to be a 15-yard one. I'm not sure who they said it was on. The clock is stopped, 58 seconds to go. It is a personal foul. Oh, that'll kill Case right there. That's a 15-yard gift for Fairhaven. They're going to move the ball up to about the 20-yard line now. So Fairhaven catches a break there, 58 seconds to go.
Great job sniffing out the pass there, but unfortunately following it up by the
Fairhaven had a chance. It was a good catch, slightly overthrown there from Brady Bennett. Shotgun formation. Nope, there's going to be a toss play this time to Cadu, and he's going to be tackled short of the first down marker.
They're going to be
Watch the result, tick, 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 as Chris Berman would infamously say for ESPN.
45 seconds.
45 seconds to go. Now they're in the hurry-up formation. 2nd and about 4 coming up for Fairhaven. It's going to be another toss play to Cadu. He's going to cut inside. Now he's going to be wrapped up. I think he got a first down in the play, but more time will tick off the clock. Just over 30 seconds to go. Fairhaven's going to run up to the line of scrimmage again.
If they spike here to stop the clock.
First and goal for Fairhaven now from the 9-yard line. It does not look like they're going to spike. Officials still waiting to spot the ball.
Clock is stopped, waiting on the referees here.
And the referees are blowing the ball dead. And here we go. Fairhaven is now finally ready to stop the ball. 34 seconds. Here we go. The ball was snapped, and that's a spike. You called that one. Fairhaven spikes the ball on first down. Fairhaven coach is yelling something out. That was quite odd. The referees took a long time to spot the ball. I'm not sure it was going on. If Fairhaven was too
I don't know if that was the smartest thing there for Fairhaven to do. They already kind of got a little bit of assistance from the referees slowing the pace down. They probably should have ran a play instead of giving up that down.
Right.
We'll see if that works out for them.
They spiked the ball, which does stop the clock completely, but 30 seconds to go in the second quarter. But they do lose it down. 2nd and goal for Fairhaven from the 9-yard line.
Watch the screen here. This could be a quick pitch or a screen.
And it's going to be a quick pitch. It's going to be a fake. Trick
play.
Fairhaven looking for the end zone, and it's caught. A touchdown. What a play by the Blue Devils. Number 7, that's Gregory Quintel, the tight end, on the receiving end of a trick play. They tossed it
Quick
to the wide receiver, Flynn Borgo, and he thrust it into the end zone.
Fairhaven.
Into double coverage, I might add, to the tight end.
He
who
went up
came
and he
down
got
with it.
that ball. He went up and got it.
Got it. What a great play by the Blue Devils. That makes the score 20-12. 22 seconds remain here in the first half.
We're seeing Fairhaven really start to, after running the ball up the middle for most of this game, now they're going to start to test Case downfield, and they're starting to get their feet wet here with the pass, so it'll be interesting to see what Fairhaven does here in the second half if they continue with the passes here.
Fairhaven to line up for the 2-point conversion. It's like another goal line formation, motioning two-man, and confusion there. There goes the play. It's blown dead. And the ball's going to be thrown. It's going to be intercepted. And the
There was no
Crow has a
whistle.
chance to take that off.
He's going to
Crow's going to go all the way back with this. Crow is going to
50,
take
40,
the 2-point
30,
conversion pass
20,
all the
one
way
man.
back. Confusion all over the field right now as it stands
should
right
be 2
now.
points there, I believe.
I
right?
believe Fairhaven's going to get it. There's another flag out near the 40-yard line that may have had a block in the back. I didn't see the official through that. That was a very confusing play. There was all sorts of motion beforehand.
Well, it looked like the penalty might have been against Case, allowing the free play for Fairhaven.
And I don't know what happened. That was all sorts of confusing. Crew intercepted the
for
2-point
Case.
conversion, and he took it all the way back, but it may have been for nothing. Officials are out discussing what's going on. It looks like the Case defense is going back, so this is going to be all for nothing.
That's
on
why,
that play.
Tyler, the reason there why the whistle didn't blow was because the penalty was against Case, allowing the free play for the Fairhaven offense there. So, win, lose, or draw for Fairhaven, they're gonna throw the ball, they're gonna try to push it in there any way they can, because if they score, they can decline the penalty and keep the 2-point conversion.
Right.
Instead, the 2-point conversion going the other way gets negated here.
It appeared to me that
Excellent play, though.
Case jumped, which signaled or was offsides when it started. So any good quarterback on that's an automatic free play, which was what Fairhaven did. This one happened to be intercepted and returned all the way.
We got to see
nothing.
Costa's speed on full display there, didn't we?
That was Prue, actually.
Oh, Prue, I'm
Devin
sorry.
Prue, the quarterback, right. Prue, as I said before, is very fast. He did bring it back all the way for nothing. We still have not actually run the 2-point conversion yet. Fairhaven will run off the field. Kind of discuss what's going on.
Those plays are always electrifying. Unfortunately, a lot of those electrifying plays do get negated by penalties.
I believe there was a game last year.
Timeout Fairhaven.
I believe it was,
20-second timeout.
if you remember, Justin, because I know you're an NFL fan, I believe it was Broncos and Saints, where the Saints scored a touchdown late to take the lead, and then they went for 2 to make it a 3-point game, and Denver intercepted it and brought it all the way back, and then they took the lead by 1 point because of it. So when you run a 2-point conversion play, you do run the risk of that happening. If the other team does pick it up and goes all the way down the field, they get 2 points for it.
And here we go, back to action with 22 on the board.
Shotgun formation for Fairhaven. It's going to be an option to the left. It's going to be a pitch play to Borgault, and he's going to dodge a couple men, and he's going to get in to the end zone. And Fairhaven completes a 2-point conversion. That will make the score 20-14. An option keeper. You see that in college a lot. Have not seen it get this game. Toss over to the wide receiver, Flynn Borgo.
Fairhaven 14.
And Fairhaven ends up scoring the 2-point conversion. 22 seconds to go in the first half. Look, this is a great game so far.
Quite often you see the quarterback keep it there, especially so close to the goal line, but that was a good decision by the Fairhaven quarterback to flick that ball to the left.
And it ends up tossing it to Borgo, and they score the 2-point conversion. Nice shot of the crowd here from the other cameraman we're talking about. To see the good crowd that we have on hand, you cannot quite see the press box from where the camera
They've
is.
definitely filled in.
Excellent crowd, like I said, filling in as the game has gone on. We have a huge student section who I see standing over to the left of us on the camera.
A little more support on the Fairhaven side seeming to trickle in here.
Right. Fairhaven, short drive away from Swansea, I would say 25 minutes or so.
Shaping up to be a good one here. We'll see what what Case decides to do with only 22 seconds
Fairhaven
left
did
on the
not do
clock.
anything in his first 2 possessions. Case has scored on all 3 that they've had, but I imagine here, unless they have an enormous run or something on the first play, they'll probably just run the clock out and go to halftime with the lead. Another fake onside kick by Fairhaven. Case is going to recover that. So Fairhaven trying to get tricky again, and number 2, Chris Costa jumps right on that and he receives it.
Onside kick recovered by
So
number
interesting
2, Chris
strategy by
Costa.
Fairhaven. That's going to give
Cardinals
Case
take
excellent
over
field
first
position.
down.
Great awareness on Costa's part there.
Get it and fall down almost immediately. So Fairhaven, 2 straight onside kicks and they fail at both. So this is going to set up Case with great field possession.
If you run the play here, you run the risk of turning the ball over on a crazy play. If you want to play conservative, quarterback just takes a knee right here.
Let's see what Case does. I mean, 22 seconds is still 22 seconds. Hand it off, you get lucky. However, Justin, as you said, you run the risk of fumbling it, and then Fairhaven picks it up and runs it all the way back for a touchdown. And now which would tie the game and give them a potential to go into halftime with the lead on a really play that could have needlessly
I
even
can't
been
tell
run.
you how many times I've seen it happen, but these guys aren't getting paid salaries, so I don't know. We might see a little bit of wily Case football here, trying to get down the field and maybe put a few more points on the board before halftime.
Thinking way back at 70s or 80s miracle, the Meadowlands, Eagles, and Giants. Giants are just trying to run the clock out.
So we've
Let's
got
see what Case does.
single back formation.
And it's going to be a pass play. Nope. It's going to be a draw. They're going to give it to Tibitot, and he's going to be tackled just past the first down marker. I imagine that's going to do it for the first half. I do not see them running another play, but crazier things have happened. And while it does appear with 8 seconds that Case is going to run the clock out. So the end of the first half here from Cardinal Stadium, the score is Case 20 and Fairhaven 14. We are going to take a break for halftime and be back to bring you second half action. Welcome back for the start of the second half from Cardinal Stadium. Between the Case High School Cardinals and the visiting Fairhaven Blue Devils, the score is 20-14 in favor of Case over Fairhaven. In case you forgot, this is Tyler Clark for Swansea Cable Access Channel 9. Alongside me doing color commentary is Justin LaCroix. And Justin, that was a very good first half of football there for both sides.
Very exciting football. We saw momentum swings back and forth, a couple big penalties killing drives, a couple penalties extending drives. We'll see who has the momentum going into this second half, but I'll definitely be interested to see if Fairhaven keeps testing Case in the air like they did right there at the end.
Right. Case had the ball 4 times, and they scored a touchdown on 3 of them, and the 4th time they got the ball at 22 seconds, and it was the end of the half. It's not really a good indication. Fairhaven has tried 2 onside kicks so far, and they're going to try it again. And Fairhaven's going to kick it right to Case, and number 7 falls on it. That's Danny Silva. Fairhaven is 0 for 3 with onside kicks so far this game, so not a great percentage there for the Blue Devils. And once again, Case will take over with excellent field position.
With those onside kicks, though, even if you recover 1 out of 4, that's
higher than the, I think it's a 20, was it 12? It's either 12 or 20%.
It's a low percentage chance of recovering, but if you do get it, that could really swing this game one way or another.
Right. So here comes Case, great field position. Again, every possession they've had excellent field position to start with, which explains why they've had 3 touchdowns so far. More funky motion there for
Ty Kudo
Case.
moving from the left to the right.
And there's going to be a penalty flag, and I don't know if the play is blown dead. I don't think so.
Yep, no blow, so that means it's going to be...
The play is live, but that's definitely going to be on Case, as Tibitot took the handoff and he went out to the left.
He's run out of bounds after a 4-yard
Most
gain,
likely a
but there's
holding.
penalty on the field.
Let's see who this penalty is on. And the flag is actually waved off. They've waved off the penalty.
It's 2nd down.
2nd and 5, I believe, for Case. The Case was, I believe, I can hear the coaches upstairs coming at it. I believe the penalty was originally Fairhaven had too many men on the field. And the officials did wave it off because they did deem one of the players did get off the field in time. I believe that was the original penalty.
Just in the nick of time, huh?
Barely off the field. Anyway, it's a 4-yard gain for Case. Now it is 2nd and 6 coming up as they have moved the ball into Fairhaven's side of the field. Crew's going to hand it off to Costa. Now they're the reverse back to Tibitot. Tibitot sitting on the 1 tackle, still on his feet, wrapped up by 4 Fairhaven defenders. They reverse
Shades of a little Marcus Allen there, huh?
Hey, end around. You've seen those before where they ended up yielding huge gains. Fairhaven did stop Case short of the first down marker, but still an excellent gain of about 5 or 6 yards on the run for Case.
Originally handoff to the right and then reverse to the left.
A 3rd and 1 for the Cardinals.
Important 3rd down here.
More funky motion going on for Case. Kohler swings all the way to the right. Prue takes a step. Quarterback keeper right up the middle. He's going to break it. There goes Prue, and he's still going down the field. On the quarterback
and
sneak.
touchdown.
Prue takes it in for a touchdown for Case. A 40-yard touchdown run on a quarterback sneak on 3rd and 1.
That's how you do it on 3rd and 1.
Prue, when he gets going, he is fast, and he took off with that. I don't think anybody even touched him.
I think he was surprised he was still up at that point.
So Prue with a 40-yard run. That makes the score as it stands 26-14.
Once he realized he was still standing, he said, I think I should keep running.
And he
did.
Keep running. He
All
did
the way
all the
into
way
the end
down
zone.
the field. 26-14, 9 minutes and 46 seconds to go.
What a great way to start the second half.
Case once again with a touchdown. They're going to hand it off the middle to Kudo, rumbling ahead, and he is in. He got the 2-point conversion. 2-point conversion is successful. Ty Kudo, the fullback, takes the handoff and dives right at the middle. That'll make the score 28-14. Case
2-score lead
over
now.
Fairhaven. So other than the one play they ran at the end of the first half, Case has scored on every possession they've had. Justin, more excellent running from Case on that drive. They ran 3 plays on that drive, included by the long run by Prue, but the first two runs gained them some yardage where they used the momentum, which ended up making Prue bust that one open.
Boy, you really do have some big play capabilities here between Kudo and between Prue, and these guys certainly can move the ball and certainly can score quickly.
Case coming out to do the kicking from the far right hash mark. That is Jeremy Tipitot. A little bit out to do the kicking.
A little bit of a 3-headed monster there between Prue, Costa, and Tipitot.
Those are they're certainly the ones who run the offense. And we got Ty. He hasn't run as much, but Ty Kudo ran the ball very often last game against Diamond in there as well. But that offense is spearheaded by Tipitot, Costa, and Prue. So Tipitot out to do the kicking for Case. And
no
it's
onside
a
kick
decent
here.
kick. They're not going for the onside kick. Fairhaven's going to get that kick, and a decent gain by number 33. That's Owen Kubela.
Dodged a few tackles there.
Gets it out to a little past the 35-yard line, close to the 40. And Fairhaven will take over for their first possession of the game.
Important for Fairhaven to try to come out here and respond.
If you remember, Fairhaven's first 2 possessions resulted in punts, both of which ended up being botched. The first punt was a high snap that Case ran in on. The punter actually got a very good return out of it. I was surprised. And the second one he dropped and was met immediately, and Case ended up scoring in the next play. The next 2 Fairhaven possessions resulted in touchdowns. They need to score here if they want to keep up with this game. Bennett's going to hand off inside to number 30. That's Giat, the fullback. He has rumbled ahead very well in this game. It's a gain of about 3 yards out to the 40. 2nd and 7 coming up for the Blue Devils from their own 40-yard line.
We'll see how long Fairhaven keeps running this ball up the middle into the corners until they start trying to stretch the ball downfield. Same formation, 2 running backs, fullback in the middle, lined up behind the quarterback, and there's the pitch.
The
to
toss
the left.
play over to the left, and that's a very good gain. That's the wide receiver Flynn Borgo, who, if you do recall, does have a touchdown pass. Yes, you heard me correct. In this game so far, a trick play at the end of the second quarter there to tight end Gregory Sentio.
The pass was good, but I think the catch was even better. Sentio really climbed the ladder on double coverage there.
There was a double coverage pass play too, if you do recall. Anyway, that's a first down for Fairhaven. A little over 9 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Same formation once again. It's going to be a handoff up the middle And that's going to be met almost immediately by Case. A very short gain. I did not see who the running back was on that. He's getting up now. That was Guillot again, the fullback.
You see this a lot. I really think Fairhaven's trying to push that ball in the middle, trying to keep Case, you know, in that run mentality. I'm interested to see if they decide to throw the ball. I think Fairhaven will have a shot in this game if they start throwing the ball.
A lot of running on first down to try to establish the field in that regard. Toss play to the left. That's another great run by number 10. That's Borgo. When he's run the ball, he's run it very well so far this game.
All 5'7" of them.
Flynn Borgo is a 5'7", 165 junior wide receiver and defensive back for Fairhaven.
Doing his best Dion Lewis there.
And a thorn in the side of Case so far this game, and they will move the ball again. Fairhaven, another excellent drive for the Blue Devils as they're out of the 38-yard line. A handoff inside again for Fairhaven. They're moving the ball well once again as they press forward. Not sure if that was Guillot again. It was not. It was number 77.
Jared Diggins.
Jared Diggins. That's his first run of the game. I believe he was the one with the run. He's not listed as a running back.
I don't see him there.
Nathan Gibson with the 6-yard run, second down.
I'm not sure who that is. There is a Jared Diggins on the Fairhaven roster that is not listed as a running back. I'm pretty sure he was the one who got the run on that play. That's Guillot. He's going to be met quickly by Case, but he does press forward for a couple of yards and fights for a little bit of yardage. And he's going to gain probably about 2 on the play. That'll be a third, and let's see where they officially mark this, about a 3rd and 6.
Yeah,
for
definitely
the
is a hard-nosed runner, right up the middle.
After a 1-yard gain, 3rd down, 4 yards to go.
3rd and 4, excuse me. 3rd and 4 for the Blue Devils from the 35-yard line. Same formation once again for Bennett. He's going to toss it to the left. Another great run. That's number 10. That's Borgo again picking up the first down. Moving the chains once more. Borgo, I believe that's his 3rd first down run on this drive, all on the toss play.
They're going to have to, you know, Case is going to have to drop their free safety or strong safety to one of the sides of the to the offense there, because they're just going to keep on hitting that corner as long as you're not pressuring them. You're going to need a little bit of added help on the corners there, because it looks like Case's defensive ends there are getting bottled up.
Let's see if Case ends up making that adjustment as they go forward. About 6.5 minutes to go. Fairhaven, they're going to hand it. It's going to be a fake. The quarterback Bennett's going to keep, but he scampers past one defender, but he's going to be wrapped up near the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure.
Could have been bigger for them. He lost his footing there.
He did lose his footing and ended up getting it back, and he ends up lunging forward. I'm not quite sure. That was a very odd-looking play. That was a broken play, and the handoff didn't go off. Or
feels like fall when I can see my breath in the air.
Definitely a bit of a cool evening here coming from Cardinal Stadium.
Perfect football weather.
That was actually a loss of 2 yards on the play. He did not get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 12 for Fairhaven coming up from the 32-yard line.
No wide receivers lined up.
Toss play over. That's a new. I have not seen that player. Right next to here. That's number 3. That's Chance Nagala. Actually, he was in the game early. I haven't seen him since. Picks up a very good run for Fairhaven.
They've been testing the right side of Case's defensive line there. They decided to go opposite direction there and pick up a few.
That was a great gain, about 11 yards for Nagala on the toss play. That's going to be 3rd and 1 for Fairhaven as
Rick creatures a habit, looking for the ball on one side and they go to the other. Good play by Fairhaven.
And it's going to be a direct snap right to Guillot, the fullback, and he presses forward. I'm pretty positive he got a first down on the play. That's a Kevin Falk type play there for the Fairhaven offense from the Patriot heydays of 10, 12 years ago, where Brady, the center, would snap it right to Falk as Brady pretended it would go over his head.
Well, if he plays like Falk, that means he's not going to fumble the ball. I think Falk did not fumble the ball much at all.
Barely ever in his career, correct. So another great push by Fairhaven as they're moving the ball extremely well under 5 minutes to go.
But also taking a lot of that time off the clock.
Well, that's the problem with Fairhaven. They're not. Case is scoring
quickly.
They're quickly. There are huge gains. And the timeout called by Fairhaven. We're going to stay right here. One possession for Case. They scored in the first possession, but it was from the 11-yard line. But all the other Case possessions, they really haven't systematically moved the ball down the field like Fairhaven has this game. They've kind of had quick, short bursts, which don't take much time. Fairhaven's last two drives, have resulted in points, but they've taken an enormous amount of time off the clock in the same thing here. We have less than 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter, and they're trailing with 14 points against an offense which they haven't stopped yet. Toss play over to Bourgault, number 10, and he's going to cut inside and be tackled by a couple of Case defenders on that play. Colin Sullivan, number 19, I could see was in on that tackle. So Bourgault with a decent gain on that of about 4 yards. At 2nd and 6, and I just said this, there's really no sense of urgency for Fairhaven. We have 4.5 minutes to go. It's one thing if this was a tie game, but just as I was saying, they have not stopped the Case offense yet this game. So if they want to get in this, they need to establish the momentum quickly instead of trying to move the ball up the field.
Important to keep our eyes on Bourgault too, with that trick play earlier.
Right. There's going to be a handoff up the middle. That's Guillot again. He's going to be tackled by a couple of Case players as we now have 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Zachary Guillot, 4-yard gain, about 3rd and 3 or 4. I would say 3rd and 4 coming up for the Blue Devils from the 12-yard line. 11, make that the 11-yard line. Officially spotted as 3rd and 3 from the 11-yard line. Let's see if the Case defense can hold up here.
3rd and 3, same formation, fullback, 2 running backs.
A handoff to number 3. That's going to be Nagala. I don't think he. Second chance. He's going to press forward. He was met immediately at the line, and
he's going to be close.
Turned his wheels and he kept going.
That second effort
might have yielded it for him. I'm not sure if they're going to measure or no. He's going to be short. He's going to be just short. It's going to be 4th and 1 for Fairhaven. The ball is moving. 4th and 1 for Fairhaven. Chance Nagala was 1 yard short. This is a huge play, obviously. This could decide the whole game.
This is where men are made, Tyler. Here we go, 4th and 1.
4th and 1 for Fairhaven. Let us see what they do. Bennett ready to take the snap, and he's going to toss it over to Bourgault, and he's going to get the first down. I think he got it.
It is close.
A toss play to Bourgault. Let's see where they officially spot this. From my angle, it looks like he got it. And he did get it. First down for Fairhaven.
He almost moved himself out of first down yardage there. You know, it looked like he had it on the edge, decided to cut back in. Seems like he just got enough.
And he just did get enough, yes, and that resulted in a 1st and goal for Fairhaven. But again, this drive is taking a lot of time, under 3 minutes to go from about the Case 7-yard line.
This is about where they like to throw. They're in close.
Rolling it's going to be a pass play. Bennett's going to throw it. He has a man in the end zone. It's going to be broken up by Case. Wow, what a great play by number 19. That was Colin Sullivan.
Yep.
Fairhaven did have Sentio, the tight end, in the end zone. I originally did not see anyone. I thought he was throwing the ball away, and then Sentio did sneak behind the line. The pass is incomplete. It'll be a 2nd and goal for Fairhaven.
Yeah, they got in close. You know, Case expecting the run again. As expected, there was a little pass there. You know, Case put good pressure on their quarterback there. If that pressure was not there, I think that might have been a Fairhaven touchdown.
Bennett had to kind of rush the throw before Sentio was completely in position.
Great pressure by the defensive front there on Case's behalf.
So Sentio again with 3 backs behind. He has 1 wide receiver to his left. There's a toss play again to number 10. That's Bourgault. Bourgault's going to cut back inside. He's going to be stopped short.
Great containment. It looked like.
I see a player for Case out there. Limping. Devin Prue and Colin Sullivan with the containment. Sullivan's limping around out there. Let's see if he's going to try to shake this off or if he's going to come out. It looks like he's going to try to stick it out.
See how he didn't come upfield on that play. He stopped. He ensured that Flynn Bourgault couldn't get to the outside. That was a great play.
Excellent drop for Case. 3rd and goal for Fairhaven now from the 5. They did gain 2 yards on that play. A toss play to the right. That's Nagala. He's going to be stopped short of the end zone. He gained a couple yards, but he's not going to get in.
Boy, he
down to about the 3-yard line.
He lowered his shoulders on that one. I could hear the pads popping from up here.
I could hear them too. Nagala looking for the end zone, but did not get in.
Great effort by Nagala, but a better effort by the Case defense there.
So 4th and goal now for Fairhaven. They're going to spot the ball at the 3-4, make that the 4-yard line. Another very long drive for the Blue Devils, but if they don't have any points to show for it, then all they did was take time off the clock. About a minute to go. This is an enormous down in this game for Case and for Fairhaven. Let's see what happens here. 3 backs behind Bennett. Otherwise, a bunch formation. Bennett's going to toss it to Cadu. Cadu's going to plow ahead. That's very close. I don't think he got in.
I think he stopped him.
I think I think he's short. And he did not get in. Case stops.
Stop by the
Fairhaven on 4th down. What an excellent stop.
Case Cardinals take over.
So
on
they
downs.
can
First
score
down.
quick, but they can also close up shop real fast too. That was a great job by the Case defense.
Cadu got the toss. He went up the middle. I knew that was going to be very close, and he was tripped up. Talk about close at the 1-yard line. I can see that the
Look at that
ball.
ball.
It is not even probably a half a yard from the end zone. Now Case has to be very careful here because if they give up a safety, that makes the score 28-16, and Fairhaven immediately will take over on the safety punt.
Now
So let's
this
see
is a
what Case
dangerous.
does.
This is a dangerous position.
Very
to be in.
dangerous. Let's see if Fairhaven blitzes. Prue's going to go plow ahead and just gain some yardage.
That was a smart play. Hold
Smart
on to
play
the
by
ball.
Prue. Hold on to the ball, and he's going to just give himself a little bit of breathing room.
Devin Prue for a 2-yard gain.
Quarterback sneak up the middle.
You'll take that when you're on the inch-yard line, on your own goal line there.
So that'll be a 2nd and 8 from their own 3. Just make that again about 4 yards, so make it a 2nd and 6, which is a lot better than 1st and 10 from your own 1.
Only 25 ticks left in the 3rd here.
Let's see if Case decides to run another play. Like I said, Fairhaven moved the ball very well that drive, but they took at least 5 or 6 minutes off the clock and they didn't score, and they're still losing by 2 touchdowns. It does appear that Case is going to attempt to run one more play here with 9 seconds to go. Prue going to hand it off to Timotot. Timotot's going to bounce off one man and be tackled just past the 5-yard line.
We pinball into the
And
4th quarter.
That'll be it for 3 quarters here from Cardinal Stadium. The score is 28-14, Case over Fairhaven. We will take a break and be back to bring you 4th quarter action.
And that is the end of the 3rd quarter.
Welcome back for the start of the 4th quarter from Cardinal Stadium. The score is 28-14.
Exciting.
With Case leading the Fairhaven Blue Devil. Case will take over deep in their own territory with a 3rd and 4. Now, Justin, the last drive for Fairhaven was excellent. They moved all the way down the field to the 1-yard line, but the problem is they took about 6 minutes off the clock and they didn't score.
Yeah, excellent drives when you can't cap them off are not excellent drives, unfortunately.
And now, if this was a tie game, it would be totally different, but Fairhaven's losing by 2 touchdowns currently. 3rd and 4 for Case. Let's see what they do. More funky motion going on. They motion 4 men at a time. You don't usually see that very often. Let's see Prue. He's going to get the snap. A fake handoff. He's going to take off and run with it now after a fake pass. Prue's going to take off past the first down marker, and he rushed out of bounds. I believe he got enough of the first down on that. That was a pass play that did not go anywhere, rolling to his left. Nobody open. He took off and he ran with it.
So we'll see if Case decides to, I say, score points when you can score them. Really put pressure on that Fairhaven offense. And I think we're going to see a much different Fairhaven offense coming out here with, more of a sense of urgency trying to get into that end zone.
We have not seen Fairhaven pass. We've seen a couple passes in the game. One of them was on a trick play, which resulted in a touchdown, but it does still count as a pass. 1st and 10 for Case after that first down run coming up from the 13-yard line. Prue going to toss out to the right. That's going to be Timotot. Timotot looking for the outside corner, coming back inside.
Keeping the shoulders
he
square.
runs into his own man and tripped up.
Still a great gain there by
Good
Timotot.
gain. He was tackled, but did run into the behind of his own player there on that play. About a 6-yard run for Timotot. Timotot's done an excellent job of running the ball so far from what I've seen this game. He is very fast when he gets out to that outside corner.
I can't say it enough. He's keeping his shoulders square, and that's going to keep the body moving forward. When you turn those shoulders sideline to sideline, you can get into trouble.
2nd and 4 for Case coming up from their own 19-yard line. Prue has yet to attempt a pass in this game. Quite honestly, why bother passing when you run the ball so well?
Well, they're on the end where they want a chew time.
Hands the ball to Timotot again. Timotot bouncing outside, met by a couple of Fairhaven defenders after a very short gain. He maybe gained a couple. Actually, that was Costa number 2. Chris Costa on that run, not Jeremy Timotot. He may... I stand corrected. He gained a lot more yardage than I thought he did on that play. Originally, where they all stood up, I thought he was a lot further back. But he actually gained enough for a first down on that run. I stand corrected. I didn't think that went anywhere.
Well, this Case offense really is testing this Fairhaven's mettle right now. So, we'll see how they respond. See if they can get their offense back
As
on
I
the
said,
field.
as I said before, other than a drive where they received the ball at 22 seconds to go before that half, Case has scored a touchdown in every possession exclusively by running the ball. A lot of misdirections, a lot of runs to the outside, and more motion like this, as I was saying, just confusing the Fairhaven defense. It's a toss play to Chris Costa. Costa bounces outside, wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Excellent job by the Blue Devils on that, sniffing that one out. That will be a loss on the play.
Fairhaven, the Fairhaven defense really has no other option but to just kind of stand pat while they watch the Case offense move all over the field as far as motion is concerned.
No game.
He actually did get back at the line of scrimmage. There'll be a 2nd and 10. But Case winning 28-14 right now. I'm not sure how concerned they are about scoring points. They just want to take time off the clock at this point. That's their most important part. Prue. It's a handoff
Right
up the middle. It fooled everyone. That's number 45. That's Ty Kudo. That's who I confused with Timotot earlier in the game. Little misdirection handoff to the fullback up the middle. That was a good gain on Case on 2nd down.
There's your Rex Burkhead run, right?
But there is a penalty on Case for holding. So that'll negate that penalty, and that'll move Case.
More importantly, for the Fairhaven Blue Devils, that's going to stop the clock.
And that does. When there is an offensive penalty, the clock does stop, which is good for Fairhaven because now the ball, once the ball is set, the clock will remain in motion, which it does now.
Time is an issue, and it's not on their side.
It'll be 2nd and 17 for Case from their own 16-yard line or so, as we have a little over 8 minutes to go.
19 in on the play, Colin Sullivan there.
A substitution coming in for Case, yes, number 19, Colin Sullivan. And it looks like a timeout called by Fairhaven? I'm not sure who called that. Case has called the timeout. That's a full timeout, but we'll just stay here. 8 minutes and 1 second remaining here in the 4th quarter. Case leading by 14 points, so I imagine going forward they're just going to want to run the ball as much as possible, milk that clock, try not to make any mistakes. Because obviously one botched handoff and a fumble, Fairhaven picks it up, scoops it back, suddenly it's a 1-score game.
That's right, Tyler. Anything can happen. Case is going to have to be really frugal with the ball here. We don't want to see any turnovers, especially not this close to their own end zone.
Case going to break from the timeout. I'm sure the message in that huddle right now is something along the lines of do not make any mistakes.
Still an enthusiastic crowd cheering on their Case Cardinals.
Still a very good crowd on hand, which I explained to Justin before makes for an absolute traffic nightmare when we leave the game. Took us about 15 minutes during the last home game, which I was at. Anyway, 2nd and 17 for Case. Let's see what they do here. Motioning one man behind, that's Costa. Prue's going to get ready to pass. He is going to pass.
He's going.
He has a man open, wide open. That's Kohler. Kohler's going to get the ball. And all the way down the field. What a fantastic play. Touchdown for Case. Beautiful pass by Devin Prue, and Kyle Kohler is going to be right there. That's an 84-yard touchdown pass from Prue to Kyle Kohler, right on the money. He got him perfectly in stride, and Kohler was wide open behind the defense. That might be enough to put this game out of reach. The score is 34-14.
They were on the same page there. Now that's exactly what Fairhaven needs to do to even stay close in this game. That was an excellent pass.
That was the first completed pass by Case this game, and boy, what a time it came at. 7:48 remaining in the game. The score is 34-14. Case is leading over Fairhaven as I line up to go for the 2-point conversion.
That'll help out your QB rating, huh?
Oh, absolutely. 1 for 1 for 84 yards. Prue's going to fake the toss. He's going to hand it inside to Chris Costa, and he is in, and it's good. That'll make the score 36-14. Case. Wow, what a pass that was. Absolutely
exciting.
That was exciting. Perfectly in stride.
The big play capability of the Case Cardinals is definitely putting that pressure on Fairhaven.
As I said before, Case hadn't passed, not because they couldn't, only because they didn't need to. And right when Fairhaven really wasn't expecting it, it was 2nd and 17, but you never know if Case are going to run the ball up the middle, gain a couple yards, and then go forward on 3rd. No, they went for the dagger right there on 2nd and 17, and they got it. And it could not have possibly gone any better than an 84-yard pass. That'll make the score 36-14, a 22-point lead for Case. So barring a catastrophic meltdown, I can foresee Case exiting this game as the victors and remain undefeated on the season.
Now Fairhaven's been
4-0.
coming out with that fullback with the 2 running backs set behind him there, so it'll be definitely interesting to see if they come out in that formation again, or again if we see that original formation at the beginning of the game that Fairhaven started with no success.
Fairhaven's used a couple of different formations. The more recent one with the fullback and the 2 backs behind him has been very successful for them.
If they could get a lead, that formation might actually do them some
and run
good.
the clock out. Fairhaven is very good so far, as I'd say, at running the clock. However, they've been losing for pretty much the entire game. Whistle blown. Let's see what this is on. Timeout. I believe a timeout called maybe by Case. Looks like a 30-second timeout. It appears there may have been confusion getting the kickoff team on the field. So the coach called a quick timeout to try to see what's going on with that. And now we're ready to go as Tipadoc gets ready to kick. Like I said, 7 minutes and 48 seconds to go. And here's the kick. It's a squib kick. Fairhaven's going to jump on that ball. Oh, and they finally do. If Case picked up that ball, they have possession of it.
Case was looking, not only did they put it away with the long pass, but they were looking to put it away on that little squib right up the middle.
Right, yeah, and if Case had jumped on that, obviously the game would be over. Fairhaven still has a glimmer of hope left in this game, but obviously you can never say never when you're trailing late in a football game, as getting New England Patriots or Atlanta Falcons fan, I might add, how that felt in February. A 28-3 lead late in the 3rd quarter in a professional football game, and the Patriots game all the way back, as you know the story, won the game 34-28 in overtime. First ever overtime game in history.
Besides a few penalties here, very clean on both sides of the ball.
Excellent job for both teams, really. Fairhaven had a couple of stupid penalties early on. Other than that, they've been fine. Now they're going to try to pass it. Bennett's going to go back to pass. He's going to throw it in the air. He has a man. That's going to be almost intercepted by Case. Very, very close. He was looking for number 33, Kubella, and number 19, that's Colin Sullivan, tipped it away. It looks like he was ready to intercept it. Sullivan's going to be hurt.
Looks like he came down awkwardly.
And he came down awkwardly. And the trainer's going to go on the field, so we're not going to show this. This is an injury, and we'll be back. Actually, hold on. Sullivan might be okay. He's walking around. Trainer Russ Boardman out there to check on him right now. Usually when there's an injury, we don't like to show it, but this one's okay because Sullivan's walking out the field under his own power. He looked like he was ready to intercept that. That was actually a great play by Owen Kubella for Fairhaven to actually knock that ball out.
Yeah.
Sometimes you see a wide receiver actually has to play defense and swat that ball away.
I think he came down awkwardly on that ankle.
And he came down awkwardly on the angle. He might have stepped on Kubella or stepped on himself. Regardless, the pass was incomplete. The clock does stop. 7 minutes, 40 seconds
Great play by
remaining
Colin
in the
Sullivan.
game. Excellent job for Sullivan. That pass was a little underthrown. If he got him in stride, that probably would have been a touchdown. As you predicted, Fairhaven's a little more urgency coming out of here. They do have to start passing the ball if they want to get back into it.
They're going to have to.
They're going to motion a man behind. It's going to be a fake. Bennett's going to keep it swarmed.
That's a screen.
Play out to Cadu. Cadu has some open field in front of him. There goes Cadu.
He's
still going down the field. Jacob Cadu finally wrestled out of bounds by Devin Prue and Kyle Kohler. A screen play for Fairhaven. They ran that earlier in the game with not much success. They tried again here, and a very good game by Cadu.
Tyler, right now, the Fairhaven offense, there's not a such thing as called a run. They're going to have to pass.
And let's see what they do. If they don't want to throw down the ball in the field, then we can try a couple of quick slants or a couple of screens. And that was an example right there with Cadu. It was an excellent game. Obviously, a first down well into Case territory at about the 37, 38-yard line.
Scariest thing with the screen there is you have to let the defensive lineman in, and it looks like you're going to get sacked. But they got the ball off clean there. Nice screen.
Fairhaven's biggest opponent right now was the clock. A little over 7 minutes to go, trailing by 22 points. And they do a toss play inside. That's not going to go anywhere. That's Cadu. Fairhaven opts to run instead of passing the ball. 7 minutes to go. And Bennett heads for the sideline to get the play. So, like I said before, Fairhaven.
We know what they need to do. I don't know if they know what they need to do here. Unfortunately,
they're down by 22 points. I mean,
they should be airing it out.
It's unlikely that a comeback is in the works, but I would not say it is an impossible score to overcome right now. If they get a couple onside kicks, but they need to score. They're huddling, kind of taking their time running to the line, so let's see what happens. Now in a shotgun formation is Bennett. He has one tight end to his right, two wide receivers left, a little bit of motion, two wide receivers to the right. Bennett ready to take the snap. He's going to throw. It's going to be incomplete, and now it's going to be intercepted by Case. And it's going to be returned all the way for a touchdown. That's Ty Kudo, number 45.
10 and
he's in for a touchdown. What on earth happened?
Touchdown number 45, Ty Kudo.
Let's see what's going on. There's confusion in the middle of the field. That might be waved off. As it stands right now, Kudo intercepted the ball. The Case coaches have no idea what the penalty could possibly be on. Kudo, I don't know if it was pass interference or what. The officials are talking in the middle of the field.
It looked like a clean play to me.
It looked like a clean play to me,
like
too, from where I was
clean
here.
hit, and I don't know if
Let's see what the officials are going to end up calling on this.
It does look like it's still going in Case's favor.
And let's see what happens. Fairhaven's offense is staying on the field. That was just a simple little hook play. The wide receiver bobbled, and Case bobbled it. Kudo, who I believe is the defensive end, ended up with the ball, and he ended up taking. He was confused as what to do.
I'll be interested to see the replay on that one.
Officials are still talking. I have no idea what's going on right now. There's 6 minutes and 9 seconds. Fairhaven's still on the field. As it stands, the touchdown did not count, and Fairhaven will remain on the field.
Fairhaven retains the
The
ball.
Cardinals have the ball.
And Case has the ball? Case has the ball.
All right.
Justin, I'm not sure.
Well, sometimes it's hard to tell when you have guys that play both ways.
So Case takes over from the spot of the interception. I guess they're going to say that Kudo's
He must have been down.
knee must have been down, and therefore the play was blown dead. Or regardless, the play must have been blown dead. So Case will take over after the interception with 6 minutes and 9 seconds to go. I imagine to see plenty of running here.
Yeah, they're going to wrap
From
this
Peru.
up here.
They're
in
going to
garbage
toss
time.
over to Tibitot. Tibitot looking for the outside. Get out, cutting back inside. Now
Keeping
back
the shoulder
outside.
square.
Tibitot going to be shoved out of
Oh,
bounds
stiff arm
finally by
there.
number 10. That's more go for Fairhaven
Jeremy Tivitot.
after a decent gain on the play.
Good for another Case Cardinals.
And a first down for Case. So what happened on the interception is the play must have been blown dead right there, and therefore you can't do anything with it. Either Kudo's knee was down, or it could have been an incidental whistle. It
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
really
what I'm
matter.
thinking it was. I think it might have been a whistle, unfortunately.
It may have been a whistle, and the play is just dead as it is, because I saw nothing wrong with the play. But it doesn't really matter with Case up by 22 points other than just taking a touchdown off the board.
Right after we talked about clean play. Huh?
Exactly. Peru's going to hand off to Tibitot again.
Square
He's going to
shoulders
bounce
again.
inside. Another decent gain. The ball's on the ground. It was like a fumble on that play. Let's see if Fairhaven recovered or not. And Case did end up with that ball. That was number 56. Isaac Tucker coming up with that.
That's funny. You mentioned clean play. It's kind of like, when a pitcher's throwing a no-hitter and you hear the announcers
Saying this,
mention the no-hitter and then no-hitter's
the
gone.
next play, the no-hitter is going right.
We have an interception and a fumble here.
Luckily, Case did recover the fumble. Like I said, Isaac Tucker, right place, right time. 5.5 minutes remaining in the game. It's going to be 2nd and 6 for Case from about the 43-yard line.
The best place to fumble is at the sideline, right? If you're the offense.
Right. Let the ball go out of bounds. It's going to be a handoff inside for Case. That was Kudo, number 45, the fullback, and he's going to plow ahead. Pretty good gain on that play. We have a Fairhaven player down on the field. Very slow getting up. That's Charles Murphy Jr. for Fairhaven. I've not said his name yet this game. It looks like he's going to be okay. He was slow getting up. He was helped to his feet by a teammate and an official. Under 5 minutes to go as Case looks to ground and pound and run this clock out.
The sideline certainly can be your friend if you're on offense, and some people have actually coined the phrase Sammy Sideline. Sammy Sideline's your friend if it fumbles out of bounds if you're on the offensive side of the ball.
I believe that happened on Sunday to the Patriots, if I recall. They had a fumble that went out of bounds. Toss play over to Kudo. Didn't handle it. He gets it back. He's going to cut inside. He's going to somehow dodge a couple men and get up. He's still going to lose yardage, but not as much as it could have been. That was not a great toss by Peru over the head of Kudo. Luckily, Case was there to pick it up.
Case needs to remain focused here. They've got a good lead.
A loss of about 6 yards on the play.
Not
so
necessarily
second
do
and
anything
16.
too elaborate here. Just run it up the middle. Take the time off the clock. Control the clock and control the ball. No turnovers here.
Second and 16 under 3 minutes to go for Case. I expect more running here, either with Thibodeau or with Kudo. It's going to be a handoff to this is Chris
Kudo.
Costa.
Oh, Costa.
Costa is going to be met immediately by several Fairhaven defenders.
Clock running, 3:40 on the clock.
Carried by number 2, Chris Costa.
Led by number 99 for the Blue Devils, who is a mystery man who is not on the roster. By the way, the Case coach is Anthony Palandino. Assistant coaches Jay Azuli, Grant Hayter, Matt Lukwa, Todd Netto, Al Palandino, and Joe Martin. The team captains are Devin Prue, Ty Kudo, Isaac Tucker, and Kyle Kohler. For Fairhaven, their coach is Rudy Bolger. Their assistant coaches are Donnie Joseph, Adrian Murphy, Lance Lopez, Christian Braga, Jordan Larrabee, and Jared Canasio. The athletic trainer is Nick DeCastro, and as I said, their mascot is the Blue Devil. And a timeout called by Case with just over 3 minutes to go. A 3rd and 16. We're heading to the sideline. This game is pretty much well in hand at this point. Great job from the Case offense of scoring on nearly every possession. Like I said, they had that one possession early where they had 22 seconds remaining and they ran one play, didn't go anywhere. But other than that, every possession Case has had has yielded touchdowns, including that absolutely gorgeous pass from Prue to Kohler on that last drive to really ice the game away.
Proud of players from both sides of this game. They practice hard all week, and then the fruits of labor are seen on the field here. So we'll wrap this game up soon.
Let's see what Prue does here, 3rd and 16. It's going to be I don't know if that was a design run or a pass or what, but Prue's going to be met. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be it. Hopefully Prue isn't hurt, because that would be a real shame this late in the game. He's a little slow coming up. I don't know what happened. That looked like a broken play.
That was a good job by Prue just to almost get back to the line of scrimmage there.
Something that I didn't comment on before that you probably noticed, but this level of high school football, players tend to play both sides of the ball with frequency, so we really only see about 11 players per game with a couple of subs coming in. For example, Kyle Kohler is the tight end and also a defensive back for Case. We see offensive and defensive linemen at all times playing on both sides of the ball. Prue ended up losing 2 yards on that play. It's going to be 4th and 18, as I imagine Case would punt for the first time all game, and Fairhaven will be back to receive this. Ty Kudo, the punter, back for Case, motioning Chris Koss over to the right. I would not expect to see a fake or anything elaborate here. Good snap, and Kudo with a booming punt. What a punt! Fielded by Fairhaven about the 5-yard line. Flag on the play.
2 flags on the play.
2 flags on the play now. Number 10, that was Swinborn. Go with the return. He's going to be wrestled down a little past the 10-yard line.
Kudo with the punt. Ball's returned to the 15-yard line.
It's going to be, it looks like an illegal block. Either hands to the face or a block in the back.
Block in the back against Fairhaven.
For Fairhaven. And that'll push them back a little bit further. 2 minutes and 43 seconds. Now, I'm not sure if Fairhaven will go out there and pass and go for the score here, if they're just content to run the clock out and accept defeat.
No, I think, as the opposing team here, with really no shot with a win, you're going to go down the field, you're going to try to score, and you're going to try to have a good drive here to show that you can do some things good here. So I would expect them to try to drive down the field and score. They can do a lot for your confidence even in defeat.
Let's see what Fairhaven does as they take over after the penalty is going to push them back. It looks like the official
It looks like he's lining up.
Was
the
that
goal
the
line.
T? It looks like the.
Oh,
that's the spot flag, I think. I know that might have been the spot flag. Regardless, Fairhaven takes over at about their own 6-yard line. 2 minutes and 43 seconds to go. Let's see what they do here. Bennett's going to take the snap. It's going to be a misdirection handoff inside. Actually, a decent gain on the play. That was Giat, the fullback, number 30.
And up to number 30, Zach Giat.
Giat's racked up some pretty decent running yards this game. We don't keep track of that, but whenever he runs the ball, he seems to rumble ahead. Gain of about 8 yards on the play. 2nd and 2 for Fairhaven. Coming up from, let's see, about the 15-yard line. The Case coaches have exited the press box from above me. Pretty good idea that they're kind of running the clock out. Now, Fairhaven looks like they're just going to run the clock out here. 2 minutes to go. No sense of urgency whatsoever. Bennett's going to line up in a shotgun. Let's see if he actually tries to pass this here. He has 2 wide receivers to his right. It's going to be a pass. Bennett looking to throw over the middle. It's going to be caught. A completed pass. I believe that was Borgo, number 10, the main wide receiver for Fairhaven, and it was a first down for Fairhaven.
I would expect to see a few more passes.
Quick
here.
little sand play. Let's see if Fairhaven even has any sense of urgency to get a playoff. I see a mass exodus of fans leaving the stands. It's a good indication that this game is essentially over. 1 minute and 40 seconds to go. Fairhaven not doing a no-huddle offense, kind of just going to the line. Once again, a shotgun formation. Bennett has 1 back right next to him and a couple wide receivers motioning a man, faking the handoff. He's going to keep it himself and met immediately by Case. So that did not go anywhere.
Not fooling him there at all.
A fake handoff and a quarterback keeper. We approach a minute remaining in the game, 1 minute and 10 seconds when I'm reading right now. Case, barring a late scoring barrage here, is going to end up with a 36-14 victory. The other Case coach has exited the press box as well. Under a minute to go, 2nd and 11. Loss of 1 on that play coming up for the Blue Devils. Let's see if they do anything or if they just kneel on it. And it'll be a handoff. That's a good gain there for number 5. That's Cadu. He's run the ball very well, very close to the first down marker. We're about 35 seconds remaining in the game. Interesting to see if Fairhaven will run another play or just let the clock run out. It's going to be 3rd and 1. 30 seconds to go.
A little bit of pride on the line here.
Fairhaven looks like they're going to try and run one more play here just to say that they can. 20 seconds to go, barring an incomplete pass. This will do it here. It'll be a toss play over to 3. That's Nagala. He's going to pick up the first down and a lot more. What a good final play there for Fairhaven. 6 seconds to go, 5-4. And that is going to do it from Cardinal Stadium. That is the end of the game. The final score is Case 36, Fairhaven 14. A great overall offensive performance for Case, running the ball very well. And of course, who can forget an 84-yard touchdown pass from Devin Brew to Kyle Kohler.
Big play capability.
Anyway, this is Tyler Clark, Swansea Cable Access Channel 9 with Justin LaCroix. Thank you for joining us today, and we will see you next time.